the start line for the Wyfold, which are the men's club fours, Cox's fours, 4 people in there, no coxswain. You can see Molesey Boat Club at the top of your screen against Hannover in the red, white and blue on the right of your screen.
I always look forward to the start of these ones, Jess, because you can just see there the two crews coming towards each other, quickly correcting, although the Germans really not staying on their station at all. They're going to have to adjust, forcing Molesey over to use the full extent of that Berkshire. But you can see there, Molesey already with a really dynamic start, and actually Molesey had a blistering race yesterday against Sydney. I think got caught a little bit napping off the start, were down into Sydney and managed to recover, and I think they're keen to not repeat that. They want to get out as early and quickly as possible here.
Wow, that is heart-racing stuff. You saw both crews there slightly having to steer off the start, almost went over to the Temple Island and both came back to the bank. It's unsettling, but Molesey have taken real advantage of that. As we pass the barrier, as we come through this first third of the race, they look in control, Tom.
Yeah, that's a privileged position to be in there. You can see there, Stroke, Luca Hallers and Bailey just laying down the watts, managing to enjoy their row now because they've just done all the hard work in the opening exchanges. As I said, they were keen not to be caught out like they were yesterday by Sydney and having to really negative split the race. Here they've just got complete control over it, and Hannover, well, it's not pretty watching if you are tuning in from Germany. They did win their race yesterday, but here they've just come up against a crew that I think have just had a better start, have really exploded out the blocks and taken control of this one.
Yeah, when we talk about that agility and the power, the Molesey crew here have used that at the start of the race, and now they get to be looser and more relaxed. So we can see that by looking by eye at how many strokes per minute they're taking. And normally when you're racing flat out, you're in the mid-30s, 30 strokes, 35 strokes a minute. Now they're right down. They're down to the mid-20s, tapping it along, we'd say.
And that's what we all dream of at Henley, isn't it? It's a luxurious position to be in. The ability to just dictate the terms of the race, write your own narrative. And Molesey doing just that as they move past Remenham Club there on the left-hand side of the picture. I'm sure that'll be full already of keen Molesey fans who will give them a roar as they come past.
Hannover crew, Tom Holtz, Brand, Zabowski, Edvard, Kemcheng in the 2-seat, Thorag Sega, 3, and Cornelius Dietrich. There's some 2 guys in the middle of that boat there, pretty young 19-year-olds, just leaning away from their rigger a bit, aren't they? Just stay central in a rowing boat. In that sweep boat, there is a little bit of a sweep around to your rigger. You should come back to your rigger at the finish of the stroke. You start purling away, that wobble can happen in a boat.
Well, it's sort of the fallacy of the winning versus the losing. When we watch those winning crews, they're able to relax their rate, the shoulders just look a lot less tense, and the technique naturally improves. Whereas if you're chasing the race, it tends to be that your rate is higher, the intensity is very much on in the boat, and that means that technique can struggle. But 2 lightweights in the middle there from the Hannover crew, Edvard and Thorag, and I'm sure they're names for the future, and they're flanked either side by Cornelius Dietrich, 32, and Tom Otis Brandis, 22, so a little bit more experience on board, but that's not really serving them at the moment. Wonderful to see so many German crews. I think it's a record German entry at Henley Royal Regatta in 2024, and Deutsche Ruder Club Hannover of Germany, just one of many crews who have made the trip west to race on the iconic Henley Straits. But looking like they're going to need something akin to a miracle here, Jess, to overturn this Molesey Boat Club crew.
Yeah, it's great to see them, and they're actually putting in some real big strokes now as we come towards us in our little commentary booth. They've stuck at it. They've been aggressive through the middle of this race, but again, we've seen it a couple of times this morning. The Molesey crew are just faster than them, and that happens in sport sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We often try and find here in the commentary box reasons, rationale, rhyme and rhythm as to why something happens, but in this instance, Jess, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Molesey are just quicker.
Really steady, really horizontal in that Molesey crew. Almost just looked like that for a paddle now. Hannover getting some real pressure off the start. But they held their heads and moved away.
Well, we didn't hear a lot of chat about this Molesey crew pre-regatta. All the focus was on Sydney, Marlow, Thames. They've now dispatched 2 international entrants, maybe a boat to watch.
They love that as well. Dark horses of the regatta, Molesey Boat Club. A few miles further east than we are here. Back towards London, next to Hampton Court Palace. And they're pleased with that win. A win for Molesey Boat Club in the Wyfold Challenge Cup over Hannover, Germany.